can still remember something offhand.
Yeah, this thing will be going on and off, I'm sure, but don't worry. I'm not
Okay.
too.
Okay. Okay. Please do. Let's shoot. Okay. 7 o'clock. God grant us grace and favor and fluidity. At least the Jazzler has been playing there directly, so we thank God for that. But don't play the music I need. Is if everybody checking this thing.
All right.
Mr. T will be dropping all out anyhow.
Sorry.
What is it? What is it dropping out?
Want to drop my order to my. I'm talk connections tripod. Yeah, do that in fire again. Yeah. Sing.
Okay, I'm launching the program now.
Yeah.
Now we are live on radio, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And Mr. T is in house. Courtesy the network if they allow him. Okay, I go in God's name.
Man.
Good morning. Good morning. In spite of the showers, well, more like drizzle around here, it's a great morning. Good morning and welcome to the Vintage Talk Show with the Fudge and friends. It's going to be a good day on this program. You're welcome. You're welcome to our show. Mm, Wherever you are listening to us or watching us, YouTube, Facebook, we're going to have a rollicking time. Now, my name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. My friends call me Fudge. And I'm not alone. Thank God I don't walk alone. My brother is here and my co-anchor. Good morning this morning. Tokunbo, Ojekunle, Mr. T, good morning.
Good morning, Fudge. Good morning, Lagos. Where are you pitching us from? This is going to be a super day as usual. Breezy, cold, wet day. Thanks, Fudge, for having me. Good morning.
You're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. And I've got some damsels around me also. They're here. Let's start with the one right near my shoulder or my elbow. Good morning, dark and lovely, short and sharp, straight to the point. ACV Ogundadegbe, good morning.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to a lovely and great day. Welcome to Mr. Fudge, welcome Omolara, welcome Mr. Tokunbo, and others as well are most welcome.
I suspect you are going to say my cope. Okay, good.
It
Good
says
morning.
detailed, right? Yeah.
Also with us is ever smiling, the lady with the dancing voice over there, Omolara Famuyiwa. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fudge. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lagos. Welcome to a beautiful and cool Saturday morning. Do enjoy the show this morning.
Yes, it is, especially when you are home and you are not in the studio. Is it going to be a cool?
Yes.
Home, homework is
It will
housework,
be very
Fudge.
cool. It will be cool Saturday morning now. Eh, you see, I'm late.
especially when the position is close to the kitchen.
It's very and some snacks nearby. Early morning snacks. Okay, this is a great morning. Anyway, on this show, on the Vintage Talkshow, we continue to speak truth to power and shine light on dark sports. Yeah, what do we have? Let's start with the quote for the week. What's our quote for this week? And it says, when is an Ashanti Ghanaian statement? It says, when the king has good counselors, his reign is peaceful. When the king has good counselors, his reign
Mm.
is peaceful. If you have counselors like Baba Wande, Kara, and Ajigijagas, your counselor,
Abidjan.
Abidjan, what's that guy's name?
Fudge, oh my God, come on.
Uh, 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 oh, I love this video. Yeah, this lovely man in Igbo film. I've forgotten his name now. Huh? No, not Pete. Chi, Chiwentalu Agu. Chiwentalu Agu. If you have Chiwentalu Agu in your corner as a counselor, you are dead. There will be no peace. There will be no peace.
No one's run again.
There are no peace. You know, you have Baba one day, you have that conniving fair complexion guy in your team. Yeah, your red is real. That's the end. And then you have Bayo Salami too at the back. Oh, finish. And now I'm talking about fictional characters. I don't mean the persons essentially. So it is true. If a king has good counselors, that will be peace.
Mhm.
If you have bad, conniving, scheming, snitching counselors, it will be a hell of a ride. What you call roller coaster ride, right?
Mhm.
Oh my. I've had a good slap this morning. I hope you are laughing over there. Okay. It's nice to start with the prayerful kind of moments to start the show. And let's have our first song. It's called "We Will Be Many." Sound of Salem. It includes people like Lawrence Ago. I'll get the name now. Lawrence Oyo and Moses Ako. We will be many. We will be many, thanking God, praising God today and beyond. I hope you are one of them. Okie dokie. That was Florence Oyo and Moses Ako. We will be many. Now we're moving on. Let's talk about our fact checking of knowledge boosters. We call them knowledge boosters. You remember, you must have read or watched or seen something when you say, "Do you know that?" Now here is a do you know? Do you know that nails grow after death? Nails grow after death. We put it through the fact checking machine and it says it is false. It's a myth. Truth is, it's a persistent myth. Nails do not continue. Nails do not continue to grow after death. What actually happens is skin retraction. After death, the body dehydrates and the skin around the nails and hair shrinks and recedes, which creates the illusion that nails and sometimes hair have grown. This visual effect led to the misconception that growth continues after death.
Yeah.
Your nail does not grow after. It's your skin that is degrowing. If there's a word like that.
Permanent decay, yeah.
Yeah. So do not have when you see people with long hair. I said grandma did not have this kind of it's a shrinking area that is causing that. So I hope that is settled. Nails do not grow. Nothing grows after death because it needs air, you need oxygen, you need water and all this, and they don't exist around that area. Okay.
Well,
What do you think? The background music as well.
When you're speaking now as well, this one was also loud.
So they don't hear my voice.
They could hear your voice with this one, but the previous one,
It was too high.
this one too, a little too high.
Okay. Now it's made high now because I'm not talking.
No, I meant when you were speaking.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, we're making progress, smooth progress. I hope we can hear our external candidates, Mr. T, Omolara, and someone has just joined us. The Ottoman. Yeah, we know of Otafama, but here is the Ottoman. Good morning, Alex Ogundadegbe, for joining us this morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. For now.
Great. Great to be here.
Okay, it's good to have you too. So, what do we have for you today? The usual Nigerian entertainment news and reviews of few major municipal headlines. Hopefully, we'll have less rewind. And of course, the big one Niger trends, trending stories around the country. You can join us in some of these segments. The number to call is 0913-697-3485. Again, the number to call is 0913-697-3485. 3485. We would love to hear you. And if it is WhatsApp your thing, you can also use the line 0810 713 7559. 0810 713 7559. We'd love to have you and hear your views and comments. Now we go. Amalara, are you with us? We
Yes, I
start
am.
with Amalara with entertainment news. Over to you, ma'am.
Adekunle Gold provides free health insurance. Nigerian music star Adekunle Gold has launched a health initiative called Five Star Care, offering free health insurance to 1,000 sickle cell patients in Lagos. He made the announcement on Thursday via X in celebration of World Sickle Cell Day, noting a partnership with the Lagos State Health Scheme and Ministry.
That's a great
Wow.
one. I think he's also a carrier. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's a great one. Help the community. Look back. And
Mhm.
if you can afford it, offer a hand of succor to the less privileged ones. That's a great one, Adekunle Gold.
Well done,
That's
Adekunle.
right.
Yes,
That's
that's a
good. It's quite
golden handshake.
commendable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an award for him in my heart. And I
Mm,
wish people could think like this, when you're endowed and God has blessed you, you don't
mm,
really have to be ill to help people. But that's a
yeah.
very, very, because that thing, is a huge, bad score. There's a lady online now asking people to help, even advising people, check your DNA before you get married, and
Mm,
different things like that, that she's
mm.
really going through pain. And for him to have done this, it thumbs up. God bless him. God bless him, really. Yeah.
Yes, I second the prayer. God bless Adekunle Gold and
Amen.
every
Amen.
golden-hearted Nigerian in that mode. It's a wonderful place to be. Help
Mhm.
one another. Okay, let's go to your yes, Olamide.
Olamide dropped self-titled album. Olamide, also known as Bado, has released his 11th solo studio album simply titled Olamide. The 17-track project features big names like Wizkid, Asake, Seyi Vibes, Young John, and BOJ. International acts like Dr. Dre, Popcan, Delcom, and DJ Spinal also appear, showcasing Olamide's global influence.
Okay, Mr. T, you must wonder. The musicians of nowadays or music of nowadays, if you don't pack your album full of other people, I can say like 11, 12 names here. If you don't pack it, they will not listen.
They will,
Unlike when
they
you have
will
a
move.
long play vinyl, and there's only one man and singing for 20 minutes.
Fudge, that's the business of the music business.
Hmm.
Every star on his work also have their clout and following. You think like
Hmm.
that, yeah? So
Yeah.
everywhere their fans see them on any album, they pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's a big plus for the originator of the idea or concept. So
Yeah.
I see business in the business of music in that angle. Apart from that, it's beautiful. How would it be for the whole world to come together through music and talk to Russia and talk to Israel and talk to Gaza people to just lay shit? Things like music is powerful. And
And
I
also
believe,
friendly
yeah,
and
I believe they
cool.
can use all of them come together and do something great.
Yeah.
But the idea is beautiful, really. Business in business, yeah.
Is there? Yeah. It makes commercial sense, and in terms of penetrating the hardcore Afrobeats or hip hop audience. Good luck to Olamide, and I understand the album has gone quite high on
It's
charts.
well,
Good
it's
luck to
well.
him. God, congratulations to him. Yes, Kidwire.
Kidwire calls for support to Benue victim. Reality star Kidwire is urging Nigerians to support displaced victims of violence in Benue through Kidwire Foundation. Posting on X, he said the foundation exists for such moments. Though met with mixed reactions online, he insists community backing is what keeps it alive.
Hmm. It is. I mean, this is the serious matter now. We need we need peace to make progress, and some non-peace loving people that want to scupple that. Now we need to deal with that. We need to. Everyone should put hands on deck to support uh, victims have been displaced by this maddening outbursts, or is it outrage and all that? The killings, unprovoked, seemingly unprovoked killings all over the place. We need peace. We need love. You know, it's not happening in the plateau. It's not happening in Benue, in Nasarawa, in Sokoto, in Katsina, in Kaduna, in Kogi. You begin to mention, then you come down east. Everywhere is topsy turvy, insecurity, banditry, abductions, hate killings, and all that. It's just
Kidnapping.
I can't imagine a president being so easily overwhelmed with all the
It is.
troubles and the hassles. So much,
It
so
is.
much.
It
Please,
is.
victims need help. If you can, please stretch your hands to help in any way you can. You know, well, good for you, Kidwire, because you're putting your mouth or your money in something useful.
Mouthpiece. Yeah.
Yes, Amalara Akindele.
Funke Akindele speaks on mental health. Actress Funke Akindele is encouraging those battling mental health challenges to speak up. Sharing on X, she wrote, "Let them say you are oversharing, just speak. Silence can be deadly, but words can save." She ended with a heartfelt wish for healing for anyone going through tough times.
Yeah, advocating this does not necessarily mean she's suffering from mental health issues.
Important
That's
point to
it.
make.
She probably is
That
stepping the
that's a
gap for
that's a
others.
nice one, Fudge. Yes.
Just to put a caveat there, it doesn't mean she's suffering from that, but
Uh-huh.
she's stepping in gap for people who do, speak when you are challenged. Don't say you're a man. Yeah, you must. Man will explode though.
Mm.
Man can collapse.
Hmm.
Man can do anything. You know, please, if you suffer it, share it with someone.
I
Or
think it's the
just
stigma. You know, there's the stigma attached to it.
yes, I know. I
That's the
know.
main reason why people don't like to share.
Well, death is a permanent stigma. Insanity is a permanent stigma. So face the
But
oh,
but
and Nigerians. Well, it's not only Nigerian human beings. They make
yeah.
fun of what we don't understand. They make
But do you know something quickly? Some people
mm,
who suffer from it don't even know they are suffering from it.
they're suffering. Yeah,
They
Yes.
yeah.
don't know. It's a special state entirely. They do not know.
Mm,
So
mm.
I
the
think
art is
one
just
thing,
And you
trying
can't
to
see it
find
by
it.
the look of the face. I'm looking at Isife now. She doesn't look like someone who suffers from that. But you never know.
No,
You
no,
never
Fudge,
know.
no, no. The
You
people,
can't.
when you said man can explode, I
Yeah.
think for men, you first implode. There's
Mm,
something that's the way I look
mm,
at it. You
mm-hmm.
first inside of you, yeah, something must give way.
Yeah.
Something just must give way
Before you
somehow,
explode. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. We'll take a short break and come back with the second leg of the entertainment news. Let's take Ara Star featuring Whiskey. This is Gimme That.
in the back. That's a nice one.
Ira Star. Is that her real name?
What did you say?
I said, is that her real name? Ira Star.
Yeah.
That's her real name.
As a star with the
Yeah.
whiskey.
I was asking if that's her real name. I'm sure Isife will know better.
Oh, of course, that's not her real name.
No, that's not her real name. It's her stage name.
You know her real name.
Okay.
Yes, Sarah. I think she's Sarah.
They will soon give it to you now.
I was reading something where she met with Rihanna. You know Rihanna?
Okay.
And
Sarah
Rihanna was
Oyinkansola.
advising her. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Sarah Oyinkansola Aderibigbe.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I know in fact there's a song name that she shares with Kwame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remembered now. Yeah, you're right.
So Rihanna was advising her that music is not enough, that she needs to invest in something else. And she used herself as an example. You know, Rihanna has a line of cosmetics, Fendi Cosmetics.
Wow.
And said she uses her person to promote her brand, and it has made her so rich.
Okay. Wow. That's a nice advice, though. You know.
Okay. We are going back on here. We welcome the Arsenal chief priest.
Arsenal chief priest.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm launching now. I've introduced Bosun, and then we go to the second leg. I don't know why we are far behind now.
Wow.
Well, it says, give me that. Iron Star. It says Sarah Oyekunle
Yes.
Aderibigbe.
Exactly.
That is Iron Star. Then Whiskey. You know that now? I think it's I did something. Okay. I'm sure she'll find it out for me.
Whiskey, I think it's Balogun also.
Balogun, yes. Something Balogun. All these old men too, they know this name.
We're out. We're outside that. We're outside.
Ibrahim Balogun. Okay, good to hear that. Yeah. We are still on the Vintage Talk Show. We are still on entertainment news, and like I said, you can always join us any moment. You find something interesting to share with us. 0913-697-34885 is our number. 0913-697-3485. Before AC First shoots, we would like to welcome on board after some. I would like to call it Ojudeoba, hiatus and all that. He's back with us. Good morning this morning, Olutu Bosun or Osifowora. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fudge. Good morning, Good morning, Mr. Alex. Good morning, Mr. Good morning, everyone. Nice to be here. Good morning, everyone.
How was the Ojudeoba?
It was fantastic. My own horse ran away.
Your horse ran away. That's another story.
Whilst some horses are doing are doing calisthenics, are doing drama. You all run away.
I'm sorry, Bosun. Are you sure he ran or they stole? They stole it. He got stolen.
The horse disappeared. We are still investigating.
You must be kidding.
Well, Well, when you support Arsenal, such things can happen. I understand.
Ah,
Ibola tún já sí yẹn.
blue.
Ibola tún já sí yẹn.
Okay, good to have you. Good to have you. That'd be interesting. Very interesting to know to get their horse and ask him what happened. Why did you run? Okay. Let's go back to entertainment news. As if you have to pardon us, we may not be able to take all of it. Time is gone. Try. Let's start with the regrets.
Actor regrets supporting Tinubu. Veteran Yoruba actor Gani Unafiu, aka Alakpini, says regrets backing President Tinubu in the 2023 elections. Speaking on Behind the Fame on YouTube, Alakpini claimed that despite campaigning visibly, he and fellow actors have been sidelined with no acknowledgement from Tinubu's team or his son, Sheyi.
I don't know what you guys think.
What I
Alakpini
think is he wants a bit of the action. He wants
action. Yeah,
because acknowledgement to me means something else. It was wrong use of word. No acknowledgement. No, the acknowledgement is funny. No payback.
He's trying to be diplomatic.
No dividend.
No dividend.
No dividend of the support.
Thank you. No dividend. No dividend. Acknowledgement means I even greet you. You didn't hear, you know. But this one is passive. No dividend. You should be straight with it.
That word the dividend.
That word is loaded.
Personal dividend or collective dividend?
Okay.
I think it's because they were on behalf of others.
They were paid for this thing. Nigerians have a very funny mentality. Yesterday, I was just talking to a colleague of mine, and we were talking about staff in the office. That sometimes somebody is paid his salary promptly, and then he looks at it, okay, a guy is earning millions, and we are not earning millions. The fact is, you signed for the salary. Yeah. Whatever your guy makes, the day your guy didn't make anything, did he come and tell you story? Yeah. So Nigerians are looking beyond what is supposed to be theirs and prying into something else. So they were paid for this thing when they were campaigning. All right. And so you can't come back and say they didn't recognize you as what? That they should keep giving you money. You work. Let every man, let's stay with what we earn and face it. Is he a politician? No. So what do you want to be appointed as? Commissioner for tourism? Everybody competence? So, or you just want somebody because you paid for someone to come into you campaigned for someone to come into an office, then he should keep paying, he owes you for life. It doesn't work like that. You were contracted and you have discharged your job, discharged their duty to you, and then move on. If you don't have anything, campaign for your organization and ask for government intervention. Not come in and, like the Yoruba will say, Siregu, or what? You know what if he lost? What if Asiwaju lost? What would you do? People campaign for Obi now, and so it's for me, Nigerians, we need to change this mentality. I saw the interview that enunciating from somebody that elderly. Come on, and he kept on about Sheyi this, Sheyi that.
Yeah,
but Sheyi the one on the ballot.
Let me.
That means it was Sheyi that contracted you people to come. And once he has done that,
let me intercede. What if they were not paid? And they did it out of love, out of the abundance of love. What if they were not paid?
I have it on good authority. They were paid. And it's a typical Nigerian thing. Once we did something for you and you got into an office, they keep coming like you owe them till your tenure is
because you have won.
But that's true. But so you just stabbed that guy, you just served him a bad breakfast on a Saturday morning. But that's the truth. You served him a bad breakfast, and that's the truth. That's the truth. people have this mentality of I belong, it's mine, and
Entitlement.
I'll grab it. And you
Entitlement.
begin, yeah, and you ask stupidly sometimes, I'm sorry.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the Woli Arole story.
Woli Arole slams surrogacy. Comedian and preacher Woli Arole has sparked debate after advising women against surrogacy. In an Instagram post, he said childbearing is sacred and now God wants it. He added that unless there are medical issues, women shouldn't opt for surrogacy just for convenience.
Hmm.
You know, Chimamanda Adichie is getting a lot of backlash. I'm sure you read about her, this surrogacy thing.
Unfortunately, no.
No, I've not heard it too. I've not
What?
read
Why
it.
did this? What
She's
are they
having
complaining about?
twins. She's having twins. She's paying someone to carry them for her. You know, I think they
So,
did.
so what? Why is she
Yeah,
having the backlash? Because she's used a surrogate.
because she's a feminist and people believe she should be against something like that.
In fact, that's the reason why she be like that now. She's a feminist. You know, it will be very difficult for a feminist to be carrying a 9 month pregnancy and be holding chair up and down. You know, I think it's contrary to their principles.
But
Why
she's
is a
asking
feminist
another woman
that's
to do
heavy
it.
and is now moving from one chair to the other because he can't move so I thought that would be in concert with our principles. I don't know why he's getting backlash for that.
Let me just say this. He dropped the caveat. He says unless for medical reasons and stuff, right? I think that was what he ended up. I really ended up with. Now you see,
Yeah.
the fact is this: I can speak from a personal point of view. I have so many of my friends in this, yeah, and some are still in it, okay, and yeah, a few of them have medical whatever, no, so on. But they, somebody said to me, you do not know what you miss, right? When you don't carry your baby.
Mm.
They said that's the beginning of the joy of motherhood. And different strokes for different folks. It's a very highly sensitive matter. Very
Very,
sensitive. Yeah, it is
very,
highly sensitive. And I just believe some women generally should look beyond it. Oh, it's happened to, hey, oh, good for you, okay, and then what? Emojukurombel. But just am I landing on that? Because you never know what people are going through. You don't understand it.
yes, I think some choices like these should not be legislated or be
We discussed in the circle square.
I mean publicly advise. What's your my
Exactly.
take is, what's your own business in somebody else's surrogacy or non-surrogacy?
Ogufat, quickly, I think sometimes the way Nigerians take to social media and display quantum ignorance on topics and subjects they don't know now is beginning to annoy me because you just see people, because you have small data, you just come, you just speak, and you see ignorance on steroids, running
Well,
around because it's
ignorance or what? But so
on
what was that? Ignorance or
Steroids.
what?
On,
Steroids.
on steroids.
because you don't. What do you know about surrogacy? What do you know that people are going through? Is it only medical conditions? Do you know the reason why some people are doing it? Then, because something worked for you, you feel you're an authority on it. I don't really blame Arole because, to the best of my knowledge, I think it's no intention to derogate this person. I knew when he started, he's some village boy who just hit lamplight. So he still has that.
God will have
And that
mercy on them, Bosun.
Bosun
But
has
not on there.
done diplomacy.
Okay,
he's not a Lagos person, so I speak that in context. There's
I
nothing
understand.
about it. He's
I
not.
understand.
So I think he still has that mentality. You know, we grew up with this understanding. A lot of parents didn't believe in CS until
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you
Yeah,
just
that's
believe in birth and all that.
Very true.
So, but
Very
now
true.
people have seen that there are a billion reasons why people do what they do. So every man to his own. Whatever
Every
you have
man to
done,
his own.
leave,
Yes.
like
Mm-hmm.
don't come and certificate on things others do and sound like
No.
some authority because you
Authority
just
over
be
it.
exposing
Right.
a part of your
Okay.
brain that shows it's
Okay.
empty.
Okay. Thank you, Bosun. He's just joined us. He's been also have been at war for some time. We haven't heard or seen him in like 2, 3 editions. Good morning this morning, Akindamola Adeboye. Are you with us?
Uh, I'm with you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning, Mr. C. Alex, good morning. Bosun, good
morning.
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 Okay. You are welcome. The last story is if, on the entertainment news. Is by Ogabelo's story.
Adebayo Salami marks 60 years in film. Veteran actor
Wow.
Adebayo Salami is celebrating 60 years in Nollywood with a new film, Her Excellency, premiering 29th June. The 70-year-old icon began his career in 1964 and famously starred in Ajani Ogun. His son, Femi, says the film hit cinemas nationwide 4th July.
Wow.
Wow, 60 years.
Wow. As if
See,
I cannot even say the 60 well. Wow. That means even some of us on this platform talking now, we're either not born or we're in our diapers. You know, when this man started on stage.
No, you know,
You don't grew
you
up
know, you
knowing
know,
Oga.
you know something. It just occurred to me that he probably must have started at the age of 8, 9 or something.
Yes, because it's 70 now. So that means it started around
It's
10.
about 70 now. Yeah, he must have started around 10
Yeah,
on
yeah.
stage.
They all did. Jide Kosoko also started at 10. You know, I remember very quite clearly. But
Wow.
I mean, he has been Oga Bello fly forever.
As a
Yeah.
Forever.
People like Bosu and Aki will have met him as Oga Bello from time.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
I
that's
actually
a
did.
fact, really.
Because
I actually
he has
did.
been Oga Bello like 1960 something. Imagine he
Yeah,
has been Oga Bello like in the early 70s, 69, 70, 71, thereabout. You know,
come on, yeah.
in one play like that, a television play like that. You know,
Yeah.
imagine.
Bello.
Wow.
But Uncle Faj,
Okay.
one interesting thing about the man is that he is a legend and he has left a good legacy. As in,
yeah.
he has left a good legacy, and that is one beautiful thing I like about him. And as in, he handed over the baton. He's still on the field, guiding, not overbearing. It's
Mm,
interesting to see. Interesting
mm,
to see.
yeah. Congratulations, Oga Bello. Adebayo Salami. It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
And those his colleague in that generation, they have done exceptionally well. And they could now rest and sit back and watch the young ones explode. Some of the
Yeah.
things I've seen from the younger chaps on Netflix and all that is outstanding. Outstanding. They're taking the mark up a bit, and we wish them all the best. You know, someday someday we will celebrate your 68th in broadcasting.
Fudge, what a punch. What a punch.
That's a good thing now.
What a
Just 60
punch.
years in broadcasting. I didn't say next week. I didn't say one day.
No, last week somebody invited me to the studio and I stood there, I was talking, and he introduced me to guys around, and he says, this microphone would also pay tribute to you. And I looked at the mic, and you know something, shockingly, I remember that microphone. I remember that microphone. I remembered. I was just staring at it. Wow, he's still working. He said, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, God.
sometime.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. For entertainment news, thank you, ladies. Omolara and Esife, thank you. Hope to see you next week. Now we move on. Let's take a short break with Fowls, another interesting character. It says, slow down. featuring Pink Mad. Oh, that's King.
Really interesting character.
I understand this.
Falls the bad
You know,
guy.
they write King now, they start with Q. The children
Yeah.
of nowadays.
The
So
what?
it is King Mad, not Queen Mad. But it starts with Q. And
Oh,
the only
wow.
Q I see in my life that has no U after it, you know, children of
King.
nowadays. Fouls saying should slow down.
Level of expansion of creativity is just, it's just, I don't know, awesome, isn't it?
The female now, it's likely Queen though.
Yes. Female,
So why do you say King?
that's once I think so.
And this is Queen.
Probably she's daring to be different. That's all.
But it's a girl now.
Someone calls herself
Oba.
no, the male, the
King. Odogu.
yes.
Mm.
It's only you are pronouncing it.
Tamilore has been quiet today. Is she there?
Yeah, she's very quiet today, Abby.
Yes, I noticed. The microphone is the microphone is complaining, Tammy.
Don't worry. Anyway, I'll just try to be tempered today, but quiet never.
Okay, all right. So I don't worry, I take it back. I mean, I thought that you would have said something about Bosun's horse running away or something, you know.
I wanted to hear that story so badly. I wanted to hear that story.
Oh, well, you didn't say a word.
See, I'm not considering going to that video, but just to, how do they say it? Eat with my eyes, just to look. It looked like mad fun. I'm sure it was very stressful, but it also looked like fun. I heard that hotels and stuff were booked like 1 week. I was even telling my dad that maybe we can drop in and see something. He said that everything around that axis is booked already. That there's no point trying.
No, if you're not from Ijebu, you probably have to tag along with someone that is from that place because
No, I have family there. I have people there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the best you can do. If you are not from Ijebu, except you have someone that has an hotel, you know the person one-on-one, and you can call and you can, because usually what happens is that this time they finished one now. Everybody started booking. You book now and you pay now. So,
You're booking ahead now for next year's.
They need to give that some global.
Yeah,
it's a big thing. It's a big thing.
And if the family in Ijebu that has a house there, you need to tell them ahead now. Okay, next year I'm coming to your house because the house will be filled. It will be full. So it's usually like
I wanted to mention this is not important to anybody except for me. But at work, right, we're doing the board evaluation for. No, okay, this is not confidential information. And we're doing the board evaluation for a company, and one of the I don't think I'm allowed to mention the person's name, but one of the people that was at Ojude, one of the everybody knows the person is in the company. So I specifically asked to be assigned to that engagement just so I can go and see him. And I didn't end up talking to him because I was shy for no reason. I just saw him through the door and I was just smiling like a goat.
You are too honest to be true.
Okay. Money confessions.
Are you able to spread them?
I removed the comments.
Okay, we are back. That's some interesting tidbits at the back end. We're on music break. Yeah, we'll probably divulge some of them later. We probably may not be able to give you the headline reviews because of time constraints. And more so, some of them are what we'll discuss on Niger trends. So please go with us and accept our Apologies. You can join us right now. The number to call is 0913 697 3485. The number again is 0913 697 6485. Join us. Be part of this. It's going to be interesting. We have Mr. T in the house. By some incredible grace of God, Alex is still with us. And Bosun is, oh, thank God, here. And Akindamola from his, what they call it? His own is not Judio, but it's just a self-inflicted holiday. He's back here with us. So we have a full panel to discuss this. And we have some interesting news. Some interesting news to discuss. So this is Niger Trends on the Vintage Talk Show on Top Radio 90.9 FM. And our hostess, our presenter is here. Spicy and deliberate, and troublesome. Other adjectives that I may suffer for mentioning later in the studio, but I'll mention anyway. Good morning, Amilore.
Oh God. I don't have feedback for you, but just
let's let you pass.
I'm happy to be here.
Good morning, there. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, what do you have for us today?
Okay, our first story is no bra, no exam. OOU dress code sparks uproar. There's outrage online after a video from Olabisi Onabanjo University in Ogun State went viral, showing female staff checking if students wore bras before entering an exam hall. Critics call the act sexist and liken it to sexual assault. Though the university has remained silent, its student union says the dress code aims to promote modesty and reduce distractions. But many argue that touching students crosses legal and moral lines. Human rights groups are calling for lawsuits, with students alleging the school enforces a harsh, non-religious moral code. The debate continues on dignity versus discipline.
Dilo, is there something wrong with that in our law books?
Now, he made the foundation.
Hello? Oh, I can hear him.
I'm here.
Bosun is here, but the audio is playing pranks. Bosun is here.
You are breaking. Also, you are breaking if you can hear us.
I can hear very well.
Bosun is clean. I can hear it, Bosun, as well.
Okay.
Okay, speak again.
Very well.
I can hear you now. Hold on. I don't know what's wrong with my system.
Can I go ahead?
Okay, you heard me, and people at home also heard. So you answer. Is your answer that's the problem?
Oh, the answer. All right. First of all, part of the ethics, the school, part of the laws that govern students.
Your school. You went to the school, right?
No. I went to Lasso. I finished from. I went to Ogunpoli. Yes. All right. So the students, they have a duty and responsibility to dress decently. There's always a code of dressing for students, and what underscores it is that you must not. It's a must not. You must not dress indecently because it will be sanctioned school, and part of sanctioning is to do with first of you being called aside to go and dress well. It's not. It can attract some punishment, but not to the extent of stopping somebody from writing exams. So in a situation where somebody hasn't dressed indecently, then you don't have any right to stop that person from taking part in examination based on that law. And this is how it works. If you line up students and you are watching out for who is wearing a bra and who is not wearing a bra, you have moved from what is supposed to be into a different realm.
into pornography.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
now
it is pornography.
is where
For
dressing.
extension.
If somebody has dressed indecently, you can spot that from a man. But you now having to check if somebody is wearing underwears that is going beyond what you're supposed to do. And then how much distraction does that offer maybe
Thank you.
how much distraction is that? To the extent that you start checking for it. And then you now saying that they won't go into exam hall. Come on. I think the school hasn't acted well. They need to reverse the law. And then because you have gone into people's fundamental rights, they
Privacy.
have a right of expression guaranteed under the Constitution. So to an extent, and they owe it to decency. If somebody has not crossed the line of indecency, and then you now start a covert mission of checking if somebody is wearing bra or not wearing bra, that has gone beyond what the school is supposed to do. You're infringing on their moral right, on their constitutional right as well. And then do you do the same thing for somebody wearing hijab? You want to start
Thank you.
checking it? You won't go that far. You will cure the rot of the people and then it will create something else. So people would have delved into something they're not supposed to. But primarily, the student owes the school and the society a duty to dress decent. It's a duty, it's a must for them.
Yeah.
If you go beyond that, then you can be sanctioned. But this that the school has done is way, way, way off the mark.
Also, I would like to take a different opinion. The truth of the matter is this: the certificate the school gives to you at the end of your education is for content and character, not for academics only. And they reserve that right to give or not to give based on their judgment. And in exercising your own right, you do not trample on other people's rights. I graduated from OAU, and we always pride ourselves that the school is for learning and culture. You know, some of these acts by students nowadays are just subtle ways of protecting some things or projecting some things. And looking at it, not wearing bra for a lady, how much distraction does it causes in the environment? It's like going half naked to some. And for me, if you mentioned decency, if the law of decency says dress decently, why don't we just dress decently? And it is instructive that if the student union is quiet about it, that means there is a problem somewhere. Because
The union is even supportive of the school's
yeah,
action.
that's what I'm saying. That's why they're because in OAU, the student union would be the first group to sit down.
Let me paint. Sorry. Let me just paint something to you guys, right? What would the authorities have done if I decide to appear in my birthday suit?
You will not,
they will take you to Arrow. They will take you to Arrow mental hospital.
It's not about to go into Arrow. That is to me. That is. No, just a minute. That is decency. To me, is decency.
That's
identify, underline that word decency. It's in the mind thing. I think they were wrong in actually looking for something where there was nothing.
I want to add that.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. It's just not making sense to me. I can't really defend that. For checks, entering any exam hall in our days, okay, they'll check you up for extra papers you are holding up, and you understand, and they allow you. This time, I imagine what they would have done. They will check for extra things, and then they look just peeping through to see if there's a bra around you.
No,
Is that part of the code?
you know the bad aspect. Yeah, just a moment.
Yes.
You know the bad aspect is the search procedure. They are MO. They don't check your back or your shoulder to see if there's a bra strap or bra something at the body. They fondle their breast to make sure. So that's why I call
You
it
see?
some kind of deviance.
Uncle Fad,
Like a
I don't
portal.
we need to be
Video.
careful. No. We need to be careful because when some people are reporting, they actually make this out of.
No, look at the video.
There was a video.
There's a
They said
video.
there's a video. They said there's a video.
They use women to do the checking, which is okay, but the checking is sensual.
What?
They are grabbing their boobs.
Wrong.
You know,
It was absolutely
which is
unnecessary.
wrong.
Even
And
Even if
of
the
course,
law itself is ridiculous, there's no way in which that functions. That one girl was showing her strap, was trying to say, see, there's a strap here.
there.
She was trying to avoid it.
Someone is wearing a turtleneck.
She was wearing a round neck. There's no, even if she's not.
Uncle Fad, you know us now. When they give us small power, you know us.
You overstretching, yeah.
Overstretching. When they give us small power, you know those women. There was a time when I went to a military school. There was a time soldiers were actually angry that we are dressing nice, feeding well. I mean, they were angry. So one of them took out his anger on me because we are actually dressing nice. We could eat. We could speak good English. Soldiers, and it was funny. It was when we were adults and one of those unions that we sat down, psychoanalyzed everything, and we said, okay, no wonder they were angry. No wonder they were, because some of those women are angry that those young ladies, they are young, they are doing great, they are,
they are in the prime of their lives.
There's
I don't think there's any excuse.
There's a problem.
Well, no, that doesn't give them the.
Give Alex space to speak.
Okay.
No, Alex.
I see a problem here. Instead of witch hunting, because that's what I think they're doing, they should make a proclamation that everybody should dress decently. Everyone dress decently. Now, you don't have to force a woman to wear a bra for decency. A woman can dress, not wear a bra, and still be decent. So what are we saying?
Yes.
It's like witch hunting. You are looking for offenders. You're going out of your way to find offenders. There should just be a general rule in the school that students should dress decently. And it shouldn't just be during exam periods. It should be at all periods.
That's why I said that, see, indecent dressing can be spotted from the man. If you're the one now trying to look for what is decent and what is indecent, by looking behind the person and going to the extent of what the person is wearing under, and then having to check for it, that's no longer indecency. That's clearly, and that's
the institution to me has trespassed. They have trespassed. It's picture of fire. Higher on the bill.
Let's bring in the verdict. Clearly, the governing council and the administration of Olabisi Onabanjo University have goofed. They have trespassed. They have infringed on fundamental human rights of people. They're encouraging pornography, and they are giving some jobless people license to have their sexual perversion realized. It is wrong on all counts. Yes, there are some ladies that can cause the invigilator to mislead, to misinvigilate, by showing off certain parts of their body and all that. But what the spectacle we saw and was all over the world in CNN, BBC, and all that stuff is a disgrace to this country that we can go to that. that level where you begin to fondle women in search of bra, and we don't. I think they should stop that. Let's move on. Next story.
Okay. Prayer to resolve hunger. Nigerians react to odd memo.
Nigeria.
Nigerians are baffled as the Ministry of Agriculture urged staff to fast and pray for food security over the next 3 Mondays. Critics say the memo trivializes the severe hunger crisis affecting over 4 million people, blaming rising costs on failed policies. The ministry later claimed it wasn't an official strategy, comparing it to staff wellness programs. But social media is ablaze, with some calling for pastors to replace ministers. Despite distributing tractors and fertilizer, many believe the government is out of touch and prayer won't fill empty stomach. I think some context is necessary for this story.
Okay.
So I would like to explain that it's an internal memo, first of all, right? And it was addressed to everybody from the top to the bottom, and it was like a 30-minute session.
In that ministry?
Yes, in the ministry. It's a little frivolous, but I'm not mad at it. It happens.
That's your opinion, right?
Yes, my opinion.
Quickly, let me recommend a book for you. It's a series, but it's called Homo Deus by Homo Deus, Homo Deus, D-E-U-S. Like human God. Yes, by Yuval Harari. Okay. The book, if you read the book, it will help your understanding of what has gone down. It's nonsense. Pure nonsense. There is nothing. God doesn't. It's like bringing God to court or trying to spiritualize things in court. Everything is based on evidence. All right. What that's about? If you read it, it's a good book. It might shake your faith a bit, but the book was just talking about the fact that the God of the Old Testament that will punish people and bring drought because of offending God in the Old Testament, that with irrigation and proper agric economics and management, that it gets better access.
Definitely, I'm not even arguing that point. Definitely.
So basically, what it is that the ministry is not serious, whether internal memo or external memo. All right. Produce and products don't work based on spirituality. It works based on planning, proper planning, all right, and putting in place the right policy. The countries who don't pray, they have better things.
They have fantastic infrastructure.
Something is wrong with the prayers and something is wrong with those praying. So I need to say we pray and we don't receive because we pray amiss. We ask amiss. So this is a typical example of asking amiss. There is no proper agricultural plan. This is the only country where I know that certain foods come based on seasons. There are countries who don't do anything. They have everything all year round. So it just shows you the level of thought pattern in that ministry.
Yeah.
You know something quickly. Fad, sorry. You know something quickly. I grew up early enough to know that when it comes to the issue of fasting and praying, is a personal thing. I remember way back school, I think, Nigeria was going to have a match, an international match. Okay. And then, the teacher or lecturer in charge of theology or something asked that we should do that and everybody should go fasting and praying. And 3 days, people did. Then I took part. I did. It was the greatest trance in Nigeria I ever had in soccer. and honestly, it did position my mind differently from where the others were coming from. I think honestly that's kind of secular to a well-established ministry, right? That should be guided by results and what we have put in it to get to make us report what we have sown. Okay, it's rather flimsy. It's not touching. It's just not right. Okay, when they did all that, Did these things improve?
See,
Was there any change?
you know, Tamilore was.
From my end, I agree with everything said. We are not. It's just that it's not just ministry. This thing probably happens in all ministries. It's not a new thing. It's just part of the general problems of Nigeria. So I guess I'm trying to say that it's a small distraction.
No.
If you go abroad,
Tamilore,
I don't think it happens abroad though.
You said something about. No, but Tamilore, you said something about context the other time, and please, you know, some of this, like I keep on saying, some of this social media reporting, it misleads us. There was a clarification. People refused to listen because
About the wellness program thing.
Because no, hold on, please. Because I have personally experienced that kind of thing. I will tell you the context. The context is this: we are in an organization. This week, someone drops dead. Last week, someone dropped dead. Upper week, someone drops dead. And we felt, okay, let's just offer prayers so that all this untimely, what we feel as untimely death will not be happening again. And there was a circular to that effect. But of course, people would like to trend, people would like to go viral, and they misinterpreted everything. That is actually what happened. And some of us were actually laughing that, so this one can make it to the news again. It is not a new thing, especially in a government establishment. We are not talking even about agriculture. They were talking about their staffs.
No, it was about
but you know,
motivation is the prayer. The prayer was for food, supporting the government for their food initiative, praying to support the government for food initiative. It's
Food initiative.
But I'm saying the way it has been framed is so incendiary.
That was an addendum. That was an addendum. No, that was an addendum. That was an addendum.
That was a circular.
It's the circular.
That was a circular, an internal memo shared. I read it.
Yeah. You know, there are two issues. If I may come in here, there are two issues we really must look at. You know, if you want the office to embark on a period of prayer, must you put it in a circular? Can't you just tell people that we're praying?
That's how they communicate.
How do you tell people, Alex?
That's them just telling people.
That's the way they tell people in the civil service.
There are unofficial channels of communication. You announce it. You don't have to make it official and document it.
It's a bad thing. That's when you look at it as if it's a bad thing. They don't see it as a bad thing that they will be hidden.
Anyway, if I may finish here. When you put something like that in a circular and you now add the initiative of the federal government on a Greek, it points to the ineptitude of that ministry. That's what brings it out. You now begin to wonder what.
For me, Alex just called it.
What are they doing? We have hunger issues.
Why?
We have food shortages.
Exactly.
We have a lot of issues when it comes
any way they communicate it is wrong.
Especially from a Ministry of Agriculture.
It's wrong.
And you're now thinking, you're wondering, what is the minister doing? You now look at the track record of the ministry, what they've done in the past, and you know a lot of questions begin to come from that. So you see, that's what has happened here. They actually handled the situation wrong, in my own opinion.
Sorry, sir. Finally, sir, can I just ask one thing? Now that they have given us their spiritual plan, what is the physical plan for agriculture in Nigeria? Can they just tell us? We know the
physical and scriptural plan.
Read their lips. Read their lips. Read their lips, Bosun.
You know,
it's an expression of submission.
Who are in a Greek, and I hear a lot of complaints about what's going on in the sector. Do you know how expensive eggs are now? Do you know how expensive fish feed? All agricultural feed
very
now,
expensive.
the prices have gone through the roof.
I concur on that, yes.
You know, there are issues.
So we actually need.
My brothers and sisters, what the ministry and by extension the federal government is saying is it is out of our hands. We can't handle it anymore.
Can handle it.
It's an expression of submission and overwhelming surrender. Now next thing you now say, you now blame God. It's because of God. God did not answer our prayer.
You are fantastic at shifting blame.
Shifting blame. Okay. So it's all of no.
Like I said, distractions.
Yes. Let's move on to the next story.
Benue bloodshed. Locals aided killers, says defense chief. Nigeria's defense chief, General Christopher Musa, has made a shocking revelation. Some residents in Benue State allegedly housed and fed the gunmen responsible for the Yelwata massacre, which left over 150 dead. Musa claims locals even gave them women and guided them to IDP camps. He blamed misinformation for delaying the military's response and urged communities to stop shielding criminals. President Tinubu has now ordered a full-scale security sweep to hunt down the killers. Musa also warned of porous borders, letting in fighters and weapons from conflict zones.
Can I ask a question? Killers, what do they want? Because, I mean, how do you go into a community and wipe out people? What are you trying to do? I don't know what they want. Maybe if we're clear on what they want, then we can even know how to tackle it. Because I don't understand. I've looked through it. I can't put my hands on it.
You know, it's
it's
like what the president's first reaction to the Benue massacre. Expresses the same consternation that you have expressed now. It's like let the stakeholders and everybody work towards reconciliation and observance of peace. And I was wondering, who will they reconcile? They're not discussing. It's not as if they are quarreling, that they are fighting. No. They came in and killed.
Yes.
They kill people in their while they are sleeping. They burn houses. So who are you reconciling with? There's no option on ground.
I don't know how that line of reconciliation entered Baba's speech. Because for me, you are right, Fad. It knocked my head. But back to the current time. My fact is, who has been arrested? Have we arrested anybody? This it's worrisome.
The president also
it's worrisome. We have not arrested one or even half somebody, half body. We have not arrested half body. How much one body?
I think there's a history behind it all. And unless we understand the history, we will not understand why it's happening, right? Now, if you look back, in 8 years of Buhari, we had this happening every other week in that area, in Benue and in some parts of Plateau State, in the 8 years of Buhari. Ask me why. It's a historical thing. You see, there's a particular group of people, nomadic herdsmen and some other groups, who see the Middle Belt, Benue, and some parts of Plateau as their traditional grazing ground. There's a history professor who brought this out and did a paper on it. They see this place as their traditional grazing ground, and they've been raiding that area for centuries. So it's not a matter of this just started now, if we are to be honest with ourselves, right? So it's a cultural and traditional thing rooted in history, which we have refused to address. If you remember, during Buhari looked at bringing out laws that guided the routes through which cattle herdsmen were able to travel around the country. I'm sure Bosun remembers that. You know,
that led to Ruga.
He refused to try to stop it, and he did it. He refused to stop it because I'm sure he felt he will be offending some groups of people if he does it. And the same thing, unfortunately, is happening to our president, President Buhari right now. President Tinubu right now. He refused to address the issues. Trace it back. Look at what's been happening and tackle it at its roots. If you don't do it, I'm afraid, gentlemen and lady, this thing will not stop.
Yeah, Alex, it's a beautiful one you are giving, because I was about saying that have we forgotten that this didn't start today? And you know what is actually happening is what they intend to do, what we call the Scotch Earth policy, and that is come to a place, exterminate everything in that place, everybody in that place moves out, you move in, take possession. And that is why the issue of who is an indigene and who is not is very volatile in those places, because they will tell you, I've been here for 20 years, so how can you tell me I'm not an indigene? It's happening all over the country. It's happening all over the country. I am not apologetic about this. People are calling Lagos a no man's land. And I'm wondering, with everything that is surrounding Lagos, you are now saying that it just the small Lagos is a no man's land for what? And it is driving towards something. So likewise in the middle belt. And that is why, sometimes I laugh when you refuse to belong anywhere. You claim you are sitting on the fence. The people in the middle belt have been sitting on the fence for a long time. They will tell you they are this, they are, but they will never support you, support. And it is coming home to roost now, because now nobody is willing to speak up for them. They want to go it alone before. If they had known, they would have, belong somewhere. Tell everybody where you belong to, so that nobody will come to your land and come and tell you it's a no man's land. And like they said, it's a grazing ground. It's a grazing ground, and people feel. We in our culture, we are not based anywhere. We can go anywhere, choose to. Anywhere we choose to, in the world, we can go. And with the whole world happening in North Africa,
the world is changing. The world is changing. They have to change.
Imagine what will happen if people from North Africa comes into Nigeria. Some of these people have been captured, and then you will see that they can speak no word of Hausa.
Only for
And you wonder, okay, and it is because it's a tradition with them. When I was living in Lokaja then, I could remember we had an issue with a Fulani guy, and before you knew what was happening, Fulani from as far as Sokoto, they came in to come and do what? They want to fight. It's like that with them. It's like that with them.
You're very correct. There are intelligence reports, right, really, about the movement of that flock from the northern part of Africa, and they are actually aiming towards West Africa. The intelligence reports have been released on these things, and my concern really is the infiltration. Now, that report that we read earlier to lead us to these discussions actually was asking questions about why people who are bona fides in that area will allow these guys, to be harbored in their homes. If that report is true, it brought some sweat beads to my head. Are they being coerced into it or being forced to apply that hospitality, in quotes, to allow them to birth in their homes? These are, it's really touching, because sometimes if at all they took over your compound, you'll be forced to let them take over, because it's either that or you die, if there's anything like that. But you see,
you're spot on. They have been forced. They have been coerced. A Fulani guy will say that will be holding an AK-47 rifle. and then no policeman will arrest him for it. He has no license, nothing. Immediately, people from those areas, immediately they buy arms. You see, not police again. You see the soldiers, they come in, they round up the arms. What are you doing with these arms? You want to cause wahala? Okay, you point out the Fulani guy has his own arms, and they will say, yes, it's for him to protect his cattle. From who? Because it's happening, and we know there is this.
So the cattle are more important than human life.
Yeah, and everybody is just keeping quiet. You're just keeping quiet because you don't want to offend them, you don't want to die. And like my father, my father will say, you don't want to die, you will die. Eventually, you will die because everybody is just keeping quiet.
True.
Everybody is just keeping quiet. I mean,
go
to most Fulani settlements, you will find the arms, sophisticated arms.
Okay.
So my own there's a call coming in, but my own contribution is I have deep respect for our military.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, please. I'm sure that's okay. Good morning.
When people are coming from the Sahel, from wherever, that is a lie. You know those guys, they are Nigerians. Every two of them come from outside Nigeria. And okay, for instance, let me give an example. You talk about 50 days. 50 days they wanted terrorists.
Yeah.
From wherever.
They're having a meeting there.
And the same people in Katsina told you they pay bandit money. And they told you they're not going now. They're not supposed to see ourselves. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. Right now, the street, there's one Ajo Aliyu in Kano, in Katsina, Tokunbo, Aju. The government is dialoguing with him now.
Yeah.
Trying to reconcile with the non-bandits who are two people.
I saw the picture.
So if they tell you they are foreigners, they lie. It's a diversionary party, and God is just to cover the truth. People are within, maybe few minute part of them from outside, but the major is land grabbing. And the power of the majority is steady, is land grabbing. You don't have to be apologetic about it. Let us see the way if you do right and say the truth. The president the president on that day was very, very symbolic. I'm not saying
yeah.
And our president, the former government is giving yam, any government. Our president is a father.
Yeah.
You tell us the truth.
I was insensitive.
Then finally, the foundation of the memo is wrong. Everything about it is wrong. You go to office to come and say, you don't do that. Iran and Israel are fighting now. They're not fighting. They're doing wrong. If they have not to say, everybody will have people. Stand up and work. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
So I think I don't, because this has to do with the military, so it's difficult to put it in context. I have deep respect and admiration for our military, but the way the defense chief's response. So he says that there were staff assigned station to protect the water, and then there were false reports. So there were false reports of something, or they were misled, something happening in another state. So they deployed people there. So that's why they're not there to respond to the water. He says that locals aided people. He questioned how they were able to get to the IDP camps. How did they know where it was that they were able to do that? All the responses just shift the blame away from people that were trying to protect. If you were originally stationed to protect your water, there must have been a problem there. And then when there's a noise in another area, you assign everybody else away. Everything just shifts blame from. He's supposed to provide a report. He's supposed to provide comfort. He's supposed to provide security. And his reportage of what happened just shifts blame. Says this person caused this and this person causes that. Like there is no power to have done something different. People have died. the response can't be this person's to blame, this person's to blame, this person's to blame. I don't know.
Tamilore,
It's such a
you know,
it's such a difficult
Tamilore,
conversation. People have yeah.
there is a saying in Yoruba, "Nkan tó wà lẹ́yìn ọ̀fà, ó jèjì lọ."
You have lost me.
The truth of the matter is that everybody is being careful. You don't know who is your friend and who is your enemy. I had a lieutenant colonel who was killed cheaply, simply because of this kind of thing. And people almost every other time, people on the field, you hear them reporting that their own camp too has been infiltrated by third elements, so that everybody is just collecting money from anywhere it is coming from, and you don't know who is who, because they will tell you, and they will tell you the truth of the matter is that they will tell you something is happening in Mushin. You are stationed in Oshodi, something happening in Mushin is happening in Yanakwaja. Before you know anything, you deploy everybody to Mushin and Yanakwaja. And if you don't, the next time you hear that kind of thing, I've been reliably informed, and you don't deploy people, you'll be the next target. They'll take you out. You'll be the next target. They'll take you out. Someone died recently, and everybody is hush about it. That they didn't want to tell us he was taken out. I think everybody knows the kind of the person I'm talking about. He was the number one, and he died. He just died. He was taken out simply because when he was in charge of the military, an aspect of the military, we were having it. They were discriminating these guys. But immediately he died, what happens? Now we are hearing all these reports.
Okay.
We have issues with security. There's no doubt.
Yes.
You remember
bigger than this.
The governor of Ondo State banned cattle raising in Ondo State. He said no more nomadic herdsmen. Weeks after what happened, some armed people swooped on a Catholic church in Owo, his hometown, and they killed 40 people. They They bombed the place. And, till today, I'm not sure they've really been able to identify them. So we have a lot of issues.
We do.
A serious problem in our hands. That's the focus of my article today also. It's so sad. And it portends very serious danger to the nation. Not just Benue. It has happened in Plateau, it has happened in Nasarawa. It's coming down. From where it used to be in the northeast, we used to think it was far away. It's coming home. President Tinubu has to wake up. If the military chiefs are not performing, remove them. Put somebody younger, stronger, more focused and all that. Then we need political will. You can't behave like Buhari when you have some kind of ties to some kind of primordial ties or whatever you have to some kind of people and all that. It's about Nigeria. It's not about Fulani, Yoruba, Igbo, outside. It's about Nigeria, and everybody's at risk. We don't know who will fall the next time, who will be killed the next time. These people don't send notice that they are coming. They are not gangsters. They are just killers. They are terrorists. Please, let's wake up. We have two more stories because I'm determined to do. Let's rewind today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, Adefarasin's stun gun move could
come
be
again.
a crime.
Come again. Your voice was not
Okay,
there.
police. Adefarasin's stun gun move could be a crime. The Lagos Police Commissioner says pointing a stun gun, even if non-lethal, at someone is a criminal offense under Nigerian law. This follows the viral video of Pastor Paul Adefarasin holding a black device, now confirmed to be a stun gun. While the pastor insists he didn't threaten anyone, police say the act is being investigated under riot control and weapons laws. Adefarasin has been questioned and released on bail, but the probe continues. Police say they'll also take a statement from the content creator seen in the video as the legal implications unfold.
Lawyer, I didn't know that our law could anticipate stun gun and teasers and all that. Is is that a weapon of force or lethal force? Something worthy of criminal in prosecution?
When I saw the statement from police, and police is using me, and I'm like, laws are specific. Laws don't use me. All right,
Mm.
that giving out a stun gun may lead to him being this may that, and I'm like, see. And now the thing is this: stun guns are used in certain permitted spaces, and when you use it in that same context, you won't be violating any law. But when you use it to pose a threat or to create chaos, and then that's where the law will actually come in. I don't know the context. Well, what I saw with the pastor and how the whole thing played out, there was some recording. I don't know why they're doing it and why they did it, but I mean, it was done in the context. So I'm not holding brief for the
Let me give you
pastor.
some kind of context. I think the content creator is fond of taking pictures of exotic cars and talk about luxury and all that. So while the pastor was passing, he was doing his content, and it was getting closer to him, and he felt threatened. And then he brought out his stun gun, which was clearly seen on the video. Yeah.
Yeah, so the only
Yeah,
violation
Uncle Pat,
would be for breach of
Let
public.
Bosun finish his statement, please.
So what the criminal element here will be breach of public peace. So between the two actors, the pastor and the content creator, that's where the court, I mean, the police will have to come in, who actually breach peace or who intend to breach peace. That's the only thing here. That's the
Mm.
only or criminal element that shows here. If you begin to delve into the fact that the pastor has spiritual protection, what is he doing with a stun gun? He's dying out of law.
Don't go there.
We are about
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Bosun, hold the mic.
to analysis. But as far as I understand, the element here, the criminal element here is the breach of peace. So between because most of these content creators, they can be a nuisance, they can be a menace. Since
Yeah.
some will just come with their skits and people will start running, some people elderly, and I'm like, the day somebody with high blood pressure would die, you will know
Mm.
that this won't stop at the level of skit. So
Mm.
that's why I'm saying that we have to know who is actually breaching public peace. The criminal element here is a breach of public peace. Is it the pastor? Is it the content creator? That's where it is. It's the pastor that has a name. That's why it's the one under in the eye of the storm. And that's why I brought
Exactly. That's the issue.
analysis into it. Now, if you have
Okay, so
spiritual
Yeah.
holy protection, well, what are
so
you doing with
owning
it?
so owning a stun gun is not criminal. It's not illegal.
It is used in certain spaces and
Oh, okay.
contexts.
Oh,
If
okay.
you
Okay.
bring it out in some places, it might amount to you breaching public peace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in my opinion, if it's used for an illegal activity, maybe you point and you use it to rob or,
Yeah.
to
Yes.
make
Yes.
things go wrong, then it could
Yes.
be
Yes.
criminal. I think the police are just using the pastor's name to show that they're doing something. That's my layman's opinion. I might be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely right, sir.
Okay. Okay. Akin was trying to interject, but I think his voice is gone. Okay. Um. Let's quickly move to the last story. Ah, the time is not friendly at all. Okay.
Last story. Okay. Lagos police claim 5-minute response time to call.
No, no, that's not the last story. The next story, I beg your pardon.
Okay. Iwanyanwu's will. Young widow risks inheritance if she remarries. Late
Oh, dear.
elder statesman Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu hey gosh. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu's alleged will has stirred controversy after it emerged that his 37-year-old widow Frances may lose her inheritance if she remarries. The will, read a year after his passing, reportedly gifts her the family's legacy house in Owerri, a furniture business, and stakes in real estate, but only if she remains unmarried. Their son inherits the Abuja home, while proceeds from a London property will support education and relocation for other family members. The will also includes plans to convert the Orgy Glass House into a public trust for charitable causes.
All right, quick one. I know it's a question of law. Now, say the Matrimonial Causes Act actually governs um, inheritances or speaks to inheritances and particularly for the female. There's a part of the law. I could apply it later, but funny enough, I saw it earlier in the week, but I don't want to quote a wrong section. But it's in the Matrimonial Causes Act. It's somewhere around section 71 to 74. But I'll probably next week I'll give you the exact. It says it puts it there. Some do, some don't. That if a woman gets something of a man, maybe as a follow-up, in there are situations where the law states specifically that when the person remarries, she may forfeit that. It's the law specifically to females. There's no, but well, the law can also be used to apply to a male. But you know, this is a male dominant society, so the woman is always the person you out for. Now, so most times, but I've heard judgments where, in fact, I had to show it tonight because what I say this with all sense of responsibility. Did a divorce and she got half of the property. She will stay there until the last child turns 21. The last child who was 3 years old then. And the lady wasn't pleased with the same because she wanted full property. If I had to speak with the mother that if you have a son that they're giving out the property to someone, I had to convince them, clients can be funny. But I had to point out that part of the law to them that you guys are lucky that this is not in what they are giving you. If you remarry, that 21-year span is cut short. It's in the law. It's in Matrimonial Causes Act. So what has happened here is the man acting within the law. Some lawyers will draft your will to reflect that. Now, what people now say, what is a 77-year-old going to do another? It's just writing based on the provisions of the law and how the law is. So if you don't put it there, if the person remarries, anything can happen. This day, it seems like 7-year-old married 20-year-old. So that means the way property develops. If she marries another person outside their clan, if she dies before that person, property develops into that other person. That's how it works. So that's a way of losing your legacy. So that's why the law protects state things within your clan and family. So that's it. So when you see people write things, they're acting within the law, they're acting outside the law. That's just the position.
Okay.
This one is not legal. This is just sentiment, obviously. This man was 72 or 82 years old. He
married at 72, died at around 82.
82. So he died at 82. She's 37 years old. So he knew he was going to die before her.
How will he know?
Because he's 82.
I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Let me not say he knows. There's a likelihood that you're going to die before your young wife.
Okay.
And I've not seen a copy of the will, but if he didn't leave her anything at all, I'm not saying she should. Wait. Okay. I'm not saying that she should inherit everything. Obviously not. You want it to devolve into your own family. Your son can inherit, your daughter, whatever. So she just go out on her own like that. I'm not saying it's legal. It's just it's mean-spirited.
You are prefacing
it. It's mean-spirited. Okay. Say I'm not married to you in Jesus' name, but like say I'm married to you. I spent this long part of my life with you.
Long span, 10 years.
But let's say 10 years. I have struggled. I've tried to do something in my life, and then you are dead. You are just dropping the code like that.
Like you said, God forbid that it's me and you.
It cannot be me and you.
And that, I'm just preceding it. So if I do all the work for 50 years before I met you, and not because love brought us together, let me finish. Lord brought us together, and I gave
I mean,
you
like,
quarter of my stuff
Yeah.
to take care of you and your children and everything.
Yeah.
You know, believing that you'll be there for me and my children and my household,
Mm-hmm.
and I go,
Mm-hmm.
and now you wake up one and say, you saw one Fulani man, you know, around there in Sokoto. That's where you want to go now.
Mm.
You not carry my property to that man.
Don't carry all your property.
You carry
Something
half of
to
that
take
property,
care.
you know, to that man.
Again, I haven't seen the will, but
wait
one
now,
house.
you pose a question to
sorry,
me.
let me let you land.
Let me respond. Yes.
Yes.
So God now made it in such a way that the woman now leaves.
Okay.
The man is now in charge of my property.
Okay.
If it is possible, I will wake up from heaven and come and beat you wherever you are, because you can never be in that heaven.
Okay, imagine this scenario. I'm actually in love with you.
Yes.
You know that you are old.
Yes.
You know that I married you. Probably there's some consideration before I married you. I've been with you 10 years or 20 years or 2 years.
I will imagine
and
you are
I love
intelligent
you,
woman.
and I love you.
And
there just is. You are dead now. You've dropped in the goal. Is my exit into life? Give me 10 million. Wait, give me 10 million in my account. Give me a house. A house to stay in, just something to tide me over. Not nothing. Again, I haven't seen the will, so maybe there's some provision like that.
But I have done that. You're already planning for your own future remarrying.
No,
because I've already done that. I've settled you. It was giving inheritance plenty. It was given property to run, estate to run. All of them. I can't really see it there.
I'm 37-year-old. I must never remarry. If I want to see, I'm not saying that. No, it's valid. Exactly what is there is valid. His inheritance, everything. But
you have already said it. It's sentiment.
Excuse me. Okay, no. Well,
let's hear all that. Let's hear all that. Because I don't want to marry a woman that I will stay with 10 years. They will not have the money of our cash of our own. I'll be waiting on all my inheritance.
The man knows what
he
married.
Stupid woman, right? That will be that like that. So you're already planning marriage. 6 months after I've gone, you're already planning. Let me hear.
I think even if it's the guy to the woman, it's something.
I found it. Let me know. This is it. Section 73(1) of the matrimonial. I'm just trying to say to those listening. It says that in relation to an order made in this is J now, made in respect of a matter referred to in section 70, 71, and 72 of this act, whether made by the court or by any other court, whether made before or after the commencement of this act. It says it discharges the order if the party in whose favor it was made marries again, or if there's any other just cause for so doing. So this is where people pick that if something has been made in your favor, even by the Lord. Now this is court giving judgment that okay, this woman should take half of this property. Now it says if the woman marries again, any party now is not even specific, but fine. Like you said, the moral part of your own argument is a 37-year-old marrying an 80-something-year-old person is definitely going to go. So she's the one who should have looked at it from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's in a will now. She will not have seen the will. Most likely may not have seen the will.
It's not about seeing the will. You must plan for your future. You have a longer time to live.
Marriage is not subservient relationship. When you are, it's a contract. You have to state this. Otherwise, you have to say, "Oh, yeah, empower me to do this." Because you marry an 80-something-year-old person. You know him.
No, please stop abusing the relationship. No, he was 72 when the minority something.
Oh, okay.
He died at 80-something.
He died at 80-something. Yeah.
Don't abuse the age difference. It's just 50 around like that.
Yes.
So this is what I say. So people should do it now and then start fighting for themselves. So because it's a case of what Yoruba says that if you don't eat well, you won't fly with anything.
What the bird has eaten, that will go off with.
Yeah, I just want to.
There's no, I mean, lawyers, guys used to tell us there's no sentiment in law.
Let me explain. Sorry, this is the last point. It's not even in the Bible. Okay, the law used to say that if your girl gets pregnant or something, divorce her, something like that. But Joseph, the father, I forgot the father of Jesus,
Joseph, yeah.
when he knew that his wife was pregnant, before he even knew it was of the Holy Spirit, he made plans to divorce her in secret. There was something about stoning her or something.
Yes.
But he, of his own volition, all right, of his own gentlemanliness,
because he loved her.
He used sense to do. Sometimes sense can help you to carry something. So
that old man used good sense.
I'm happy for him.
He used good sense.
I'm happy for him. I feel like
you're happy for him.
Again, I'm not disputing that he should keep his legacy.
Oh, come on.
To each their own. To each their own.
See, if the woman went in because of his money,
yes,
he has fallen into the right trap.
Which is a valid way of doing it.
So, but if it's for genuine love, he will get used to it. She'll get used to it. So stops her from making her own money.
She married him for money, but I feel like she has sense already, so she would know how to
plan. She
has a stash somewhere. She has a stash.
So don't fight for her. She's okay.
I will always fight for her.
Okay. Gentlemen, what Tamilore and Bosun and all the guys are together with you don't know when time flies. Now we're just 3 minutes to the end of the show, and I can't play my Let's Rewind. Oh my God!
No, Fudge. Let's rewind. You've not done the Let's Rewind. That was Let's Rewind.
Okay, let's do the last one. I found it very funny. Okay, this statement. Let's do that in 2-3 minutes.
Okay, Lagos police claim 5-minute response time to crime. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Olorundare Jimoh, says his officers now respond to crime within 5 minutes. Speaking on Channels TV, he claimed the police swiftly handle most robbery and public order defenses, with many crimes prevented before they occur. Jimoh also dismissed the call for state police, insisting that better federal funding is the real solution to Nigeria's security challenges. He added that traffic robberies in Lagos have been wiped out and assured residents of safety ahead of the July 12 local government elections. Any movement restrictions, he said, will be guided by the Electoral Commission.
Brother Jimoh,
it's just 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes.
There's 5 minutes.
No, are you sure? Are you sure, Tamilore, that was what you read? 5 minutes.
Yes, that's what the man said on air.
That was what the man said.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, let's give him benefit of doubt. Yes.
Just call. I wait 5 minutes.
That time I'll just call now. Wait.
No, don't call in vain.
Yes, obviously, no, I won't. But
but it will be fantastic because when you are in distress, you really need them quickly around you. And if they can make it 5 minutes, let's even say 7 minutes, 10 minutes, you're okay. But like what you see in movies, usually 1 hour after the people have gone, that our guys will come in blasting their guys and all that. So I hope Rajimo is right.
Rajimo did not factor in the traffic and transportation situation movement. He had to get there. Secondly, he did not factor in our networks. When I'm calling you, Fudge, I can't get across to you. I keep trying for 1 hour just to say hello, Fudge.
No, Rajimo is not looking at but I'm not looking at the crime at midnight when there's no traffic.
No, what he has done is faith that calls the things that be not as though they were.
As though they were.
On that score, I think Brajimo is on the right track. We must aim for that 5 minutes. On that note, I'd like to thank you all for sharing today. Thank you, Mr. T. Tokunbo, Ojekunle, thank you so much. Alex Ogundadegbe, thank you so much. Bosun, Osifowora, thank you. And those guys who have dropped off, Akintunde-Johnson, Adeboye, thank you. Molara Famuyua, thank you. I'm my Ogundadegbe, thank you. I'm my lovely, troublesome lady, Oluwa Tamilore. Thank you so much. By the grace of God, we shall see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh,
Like, ha. Look, that will thing.
We
That
are
will
still on
thing.
there.
That, oh.
It's still live. Let me shut the video. Facebook.